Draw the empirical rule. That's what that says. So do it. I need y'all to do it because I don't have a calculator and I don't want to use a calculator, so I'm going to have to subtract those, and I'm terrible at subtraction. So let me get my whiteboard up. I thought I pulled it up. Get there. Hold on. Well, getting there. There we go. All right, so there's the question. Can you turn that front light off, the back light off? I don't know why they don't put the front, no, the back one. Yeah, don't make any sense. It's a conspiracy. All right, so let me hit the reel and record button. And this right here, when you see this in a question, 90% of the time, this says draw the empirical rule. Now, what I say about the empirical rule and what your book has? Yeah, it calls it a stupid name. Don't go by that name because 99%. Oh shoot, is that right? Empirical. There.
Yes.
95% of your books call the empirical rule the empirical rule. So do not use that stupid name that they call it in the book. I don't even know what they call it, but it's stupid. Basically, what this book, the authors of this book, I'll tell you the history of this class. Clemson came up with this class, 103. You know why they came up with it? Because people could not pass 220, which is the second statistics course. So instead of addressing the problems, keeping the bar high to where students would, they decided to create a new course. So they created 103. And just so happens, who do you think wrote the book for 103? A Clemson University teacher. Okay? And I know this teacher, and don't think she's a very good teacher. She's one of those people that presents and doesn't really teach. And you can see that in the book. And in the book, she does a lot of things because she don't feel the students can understand big words. So what she does is she changes the names. That's okay if you're doing it in a layman's term, but when you're doing it because you don't think people are smart enough to understand, that is insulting. And the empirical rule. How difficult is it for students to understand empirical? I mean, why change the name of that? That doesn't make any sense. So, anyway, we are changing the book in the future, we hope. But we just have to do the best we can. So, draw the empirical rule. Here's the empirical rule. This is the empirical rule right here. I'm not putting anything to this question. Here's the empirical rule. And some books, 99% of your books, go out to 3 standard deviations. Now, in this book, you need to look, what page was it, 401?
Yes.
401, I think it only goes to 2 standard deviations, but you need to look. But most books, you've got a 0.2 here, a 2.3 here, a 13.5 here, a 34 here, a 34 here, a 13.5 here, a 2.3 here, and a 0.2 here. I even know of one book that does 2.35 and 0.15 out here. Okay, so it's going to change on each book. Out on the tails, it changes. Okay, does everybody understand that?
Right.
Out here, it changes with books. Okay, the outlier, it changes. Unusual. And what's in the middle? 95% is what? Normal. Now, have I done anything toward this question yet? No. This is all the empirical rule. Now, you can put a z-score here, and I'll do it in, I don't know what I can do, but I can't put gray on here, so I'm going to do a yellow, so you hardly can see it. The empirical rule put these scores also on it. -1, -2, -3. And I did that lightly, so you'll know. I wish I had gray, but I don't have gray. Lightly because all empirical rules put the z-score somewhere on there, and they also put the numbers that the question has. Now, remember me going over the fuel gauge? Yes or no?
Yes.
Remember me going over the fuel gauge? Over here, what's over here? Empty, which means 0%. What's in here? 1/4 of a tank. What's here? Half a tank. What's here? 3/4 of a tank. And what's here? Full. So you can read the empirical rule as far as percentages by using the what? The fuel tank. Now I'm showing this for two reasons. I'm showing this for this question and also the next question that we're doing. Okay? Because I think the other question has to do straight with the empirical rule. This has to do with z-scores or standardized scores or whatever they say. All right? Now, we've got the empirical rule. Now let's fill it out. Now we're ready for the question. In other words, you should have this in your notes. For every question, this is what you need to write down. Now remember, I told you how to save yourself some time. Get you a curve. Get you a curve. Copy and paste it. Copy and paste 4 or 5 times on a sheet of paper. Then fill it out like this, if you need to. And then run how many prints? 10 prints, and you got 60 curves. I doubt very seriously anybody did that. Okay? You will in 120, you will, because if you take my 120 class, you're drawing this thing every day, and you get tired of it. All right, so here I'm gonna do this in. I don't like red, so I'm gonna do it in. I'm gonna do it in magenta. 566 goes here. Okay, somebody tell me what the 3 to the right is. 709. What? 852. 995. All right, somebody give me the left, Miss Porter, if you would.
423.
423.
280.
280.
And 137.
137. And that comes from this right here. Okay, so I'm done pretty much with that. This right here, I'm done with except for calculate. Now, the question says, assume the scores were normally distributed. Yes. What percentage, and we're going to mark that out, put area under the curve, okay, of students taking the quantitative exam score above is important, very important, so you need to highlight that. 60 what? 602, is it?
602, yeah.
Can't read? You all right?
Yeah, I just thought
Okay. All right, so I need to locate 602. So I take my handy dandy, I'm going to use green for day, because we haven't used green yet. And for day, 602. All right, let's see. This is where you interpolate. Interpolate means that you are guessing. You need to do all this before you calculate. Therefore, when you get an answer, you can check back with your common sense to see if what? If you did it correctly. So, I know that my 140, is that 143? Is the standard deviation 143?
Yes.
Okay. What's half of 143? 71? Close enough for government work. 71. So what's 566 plus 71? I'm sorry, what?
637.
That's 637. And what's 566 plus 70 is what, 35? What's 566 plus 35?
601.
601. What do we need?
602.
Oh my gosh, look at there. Now, we've guesstimated that green line at 602. Everybody with me?
A bit confused here.
What are you confused about?
That's 602.
How did I get 637 and 601?
Yes.
Standard deviation. What is Hubert's definition of standard deviation? What I tell you standard deviation was? The what?
It's
the spread. It's the spread. Okay? So if I want to find half of this, I take the standard deviation and divide it by 2. I said it was 71. 71 is 142, isn't it? Okay, what am I doing here? I'm guesstimating. Miss Agnesidor.
Yes.
I'm guesstimating. I'm guessing. Okay, I'm not calculating yet. I'm just guessing.
Okay.
All right, so 637 is 566 plus, what's 143? 143 divided by 2. Okay, that's how I got 637. And how did I get 601? I took half of that. What's half of 143? 71. What's half of 70? 35. And that's where I got 601. See, I'm just guesstimating. I'm taking half of half of half of half. I'm trying to find where 602 is. I have found 602 guesstimating. I'll put a little squiggly equal sign with a dot over it. That means I've guesstimated where 602 is. Now, what does that tell me? Well, we know let's go back to our yellow. We know that this is 0. Oh, I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button. We know this is 0, right? Everybody know that's 0? And this is 1. So what do you think that number is right there? 0.5. What do you think 601 is? So somebody guesstimate what they think our z-score is going to be. I'd say 0.25 or 0.26 because we need 602, right? I'm going to say 0.26, 0.26. So I'm going to guesstimate our z-score as approximately 0.26. Now, somebody tell me, I'm going to take still guesstimating here because I'm doing this for 2 reasons. For this question and the next question. All right? I'm going to take another color. And plus, when you watch the video for this class, you can go over this several times. I'm going to take this orange color. Somebody tell me what this percentage is right here in orange.
Could it be 50?
Say it again.
50?
50%. How do you know that? Well, read your gas tank. Half. All right? What?
Less.
Okay, now somebody tell me what, if I drew a dashed line right here, what would that dashed line represent? What's 17 plus 50? 67%. Everybody with me? You're not reading your rules. What's 34 divided by 2? What y'all are not doing, y'all are not dividing. Y'all are not interpolating. Okay? What's 34 divided by 2? This right here is 34%, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's 34 divided by 2?
17.
What's 17 plus 50?
67.
So 67% falls right here. You're not reading it. Okay, what's half of 17? Well, half of 18 is 9. So 8 or 9, whichever one you want to use. What's 8 plus 50?
50.
So right here at 601 is 58%. Did everybody agree with me? So how much do you think the percentage is at 602? Approximately, meaning we're calculating. Well, I said it was 58, right? So I'd say 59 or 60%. Now, we have just finished guesstimating everything up to this dashed line right there. Close enough. I think it's going to be around 59 or 60%, and I say our z-score is going to be around 0.26. Now, that's how you use the empirical rule. All right, so let's go to our calculations because now we're going to do the problem. All right, we know we got two rules for the z-score. Z is equal to x minus x bar over standard deviation, and we've also got x is equal to Oz plus mu. Okay? What percentage of students take the quantitative score above 602? We've got to figure out the z-score for 602. So, z is equal to 602 minus 566 over 143. Somebody check me, isn't it 143?
Yes.
All right, somebody do the calculations on that and see what you get. Sorry, what?
0.5.
0.25. Let's check our common sense. What did our common sense say? 0.26. So we're good. We know we've done the calculation correct because we're in the area that I said that we would be. Okay, now what do? Well, we have to either look at the table or use our calculator. I have taught y'all to use the calculator because the syllabus says get a calculator. So we're going to use it. So what did I tell you to do? Normal CDF? So we're going to do second, bars, normal, CDF, I think it's norm CDF. What number is it so I can put it on the board for the video so y'all can rewind it several times?
Normal CDF is 2.
Number 2. And then we got to read from left to right. So what does it say do? Above. What does above mean? Above means the upper, so I'm going to use a different color. I'm going to shade what we're needing. I'm going to shade aqua. This is what we're needing. Because it's above 602. Now, a while ago I gave you the orange. The orange is, so what I'm going to say it's going to be 40% because I got the left side. 40%, I'm going to say it's going to be around 40% because I guesstimated what? To the left is 60%, so to the right would be 40%. So I'm going to put in aqua color 40% because I want everybody to follow this. The reason I'm doing this step by step is so if you need to, you can use the video to help explain this and fortify it. So since I said the left is 60%, that means the right-hand side, I guesstimate around 40%. Okay? Because what's the area under the curve? 1. The area under a curve is 1. Everything in probability of statistics is equal to 1. Okay? Pretty much as far as the whole. Sorry about that. Y'all supposed to go into cardiac arrest when my phone goes off. Y'all had any teachers do that yet? Good.
One of mine, she told us that if a phone came out that we didn't get our bonus points. Even if it went off, it was stupid.
Well, the guy that owns the cattle barn, I accidentally broke up a cow calf, baby calf and a mama, so I'm trying to get the baby calf back to the mama. So that's what that's about. I guess I'm just a tender heart.
Yeah.
All right. I'm in touch with my feminine side, I guess. All right. So let's go ahead and find this, and we're going to type in, how do we read from left to right for the blue section? Well, we know this is point what?
2/3.
We know that's 0.25. What's this arrowhead called over here? Positive what? Infinity. But you can't punch in positive infinity. So what did I tell you to use for positive infinity? 9. Never mind many you want to use. So the left-hand side is 0.25, comma, 9999. Enter. Now somebody tell me what I thought. I said it was going to be around 40%. What is it?
0.40129.
Equals point what?
0.40129.
That's good. And there is your answer in a decimal form. And if you change it to a percentage, you move the decimal 1, 2, 40.12%, or if the book asks to put it in a whole decimal, what does it say? Round to the nearest what?
Whole number.
It's 40%. So 40% is going to fall above 602.
But that's what she put, and it counted it right.
No, that's the little red tag. You have to hover over the red tag, and it tells you what she put.
Oh, got
Okay?
it.
Okay, who's got questions? Now, I did a whole lot more than I was supposed to on this, but the reason I did is the empirical rule is so important when you're trying to figure out what you're doing. Okay? That's why I put in the empirical rule with these problems so you can guesstimate. All this right-hand side is what? Guesstimating. This whole right side right here is guessing. Using a little bit of what? Common sense, using a little bit of the empirical rule. The left side over here is actually calculating. This and this up here. Up here where I punched in the calculator.
I'm really glad we went over this.
Say again?
Glad we went over this.
I knew we were going to have to go over it when I assigned the test last week.
I was kidding.
All right, now, I'm going to erase this. And like I say, you can go over it again using the videos, but I'm going to hit clear, and I'm going to change the numbers for you, and I want you to do it again. Because I don't have time to go over. I only got 15 minutes for this class, so let's go over and just change this. I'm going to do easy numbers. Let's change this to 200. I don't care about what they are. I don't care if they're exams or weights or whatever. I don't care. And we're going to call this 50. Okay? And I want to know what is the percentage of students or people that weigh or make or whatever over 125. All right, get to work. Now you can do, if you want to do just the calculation part, that's fine, but I'm going to go through the whole thing. I'm going to kind of streamline it this time. I'm not going to go through everything. I'm going to just hit the big parts, and you can refer back to the previous question on the video if you need to go over anything. I'll go ahead and fill out my guesstimation curve.
You have a work email.
Okay, I just filled out my empirical rule. I haven't done any calculating or any guesstimation. All I've done is filled out my curve. All right, I'm going to give you what to do first. Somebody tell me, where is 125? I made this one a little bit easier for you because the standard deviation is what? 50. So half of 50 is what? So I can put 125 right there. Well, I don't know where that mark came from. The Russians. So that's going to be 125 right there. Now, luckily, I put it right on it, so I don't have to guesstimate anymore. Now, somebody tell me, so we know that our z-score is going to be what? Negative what? 1.5. Now, the reason we don't have to do any more guesstimating is I didn't give you 127 or I didn't give you 122. I gave you 125, which falls directly on a z-score. Now, I want somebody to tell me what that area is in black. Guesstimate. And I don't want you to do half of 13.5. Just do half of 12 or half of 13. Make it easy. Half of 13.5 is going to be 6.75. You can use 7. Just use 7. Okay? So what is 7 plus 5?
11.
7 plus 5 is 12.
Oh.
That's okay. I know. You got to hang over.
Close
and all
enough.
that. Okay? So this is, what did I just say?
12.
12%. So therefore, this side over here that we want, I'm going to do it in blue. If the left side is 12%, then what is this side?
88.
88%. So I'm guesstimating that our answer is going to be around squiggly equal sign with a dot, 88% or 0.8800. That is guesstimating. Now I'm ready to do the problem. So I'm going to draw a line. Now I'm ready to do the problem. So Z sub 125 is equal to 125 minus 200 over 50. Well, 125 minus 200 is negative what? Negative 75, Hubert. That's right, class. Negative 75 divided by 50 is negative, well, 25 will go in there 3 halves. Oh, negative 1.5. It's the miracle. Now I'm going to do second, bars, normal CDF, and let's read from what? Negative 1.5 to what? To positive infinity over here, which is 999. Use at least 3 nines, at least. I'm going to use 4. And somebody give me that 4-digit number. 0.93 what?
31.
And that is 93%. Is it close to 88? Yes, relatively. I mean, if you came up with 107%, then that would be wrong, of course, because you can only have 100%. Okay? If you came up with 32%, then yes, that would be wrong. But if you're close, within 5 or 6, then you're probably correct. Okay? Now that's 2 good problems that you have on video now that you can go back and rewind. One with a odd number like 602 versus, this one right on it. You got one that's approximating 4, and you got one that's right on it. Does that help y'all? Yes, Hubert. No, Hubert. You suck, Hubert.
Yes.
Thank you, class. Thank you for your interaction and feedback. The more interaction and feedback I get, the better class will go. You sit there like a tit on a bull, and I'm not going to know anything. Can't stand when students do that. Okay, where's the other question? You had another question. Here's one. Let's look at this one. I hate these wheels. Let's look at this, see if I can get the empirical rule question you were asking. That's not it. Okay, there it is. This one is the empirical rule. Let me erase this. This one you don't have to do the calculating, you just have to draw the picture. So now, I want everybody to do this problem. Now that I've shown you those first 2 problems, you're just going to do the right side. You're not going to do the left side. I don't think. Because here is your clue to draw the empirical rule right there. Draw it. Draw empirical rule. You don't even need z-scores, so you don't have to put the 0, 1, and 2 and the negative 1, and you don't have to do that. You just have to do 80 plus 25 plus 25 plus 25, 80 minus 25 minus 25 minus 25. Any good movies this weekend?
I went and seen Serenity with Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway. It was pretty good.
What's it about?
This man, McConaughey's on this island. Whatever she is shows up, and her husband is like abusive, and they have a kid together. But she wants Matthew McConaughey to dump him in the ocean. Like he owns a fishing vessel or whatever, and
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, he wants him.
I ain't got no use for it. I don't even like to watch movies like that.
It was really weird though at the end. It completely blew my mind.
Yeah, well that's good. I like movies that do that. I like movies that you don't expect, the ending that you expect. I love those kind of movies. I can't stand the movies that don't end right. There's a difference between don't end right and surprising ending. There's a difference there.
Yeah.
I hate it when it just goes black and you're like, okay,
yeah,
what the hell? I watched like 6 movies yesterday, which were all reruns, but I'd be damned if I was going to watch Super Bowl. Not until they come across and say, we believe this, we believe that, but they won't do that because that commissioner don't have a spine. So I ain't got no, well, watch it one day, hopefully. So, 80. What's 80 plus 20? 105, 105. What's 105 plus 25? 130. 155. Everybody got that? All right. I don't know. Let's see. I'm not even going to try it. 80 minus 25 is what? 55? 55 minus 25 is what? 30? 30 minus 25 is 5. Now I'm going to fill in my empirical rule. 0.3 or 0.2, 2.3, 13.5, 34, 34, 13.5, 2.3, and 0.2. And it says, I'm going to write these in red. Or not red, I don't want to write in red. Okay, I want to know 80. 80 is right here. Well, what is the area at 80%? Half. Well, what's another way to write half? 50%. So that one is correct. Okay, next one I'm going to do in Verde. 105. Let's see where 105 is. 105 is right here. So they want to know what this area is in green. So what is that area? You said that the blue area was 50%. What's 50 plus 34?
84.
So that's 84%. It's all reading the empirical rule, left to right. Now what does it say?
That says greater than 105.
Oh, it does? I'm sorry. I didn't read the directions. Remember, I have a male gene.
It's okay.
Okay, male gene, we don't read directions. All right, let me redo that. So 16% is equal to 1 minus 80 what? 84%, because they said what?
Greater than.
Greater than. That means this area over here. I'll just shade this in green highlight right here so you will see that we got that area. Right here's what we got. Read the directions, do as I say, not as I do. Okay, so we got that area. I'm going to circle that in highlight there. 16%. Okay, now the last one, it says the percentage scores between 30 and 105. Okay, so 30, so I'm going to take my magenta. We're going to do magenta here. Oh, that's highlight, sorry. Magenta. What time is it?
9:51.
Okay, magenta, and it says, let's find 30. 30 is right here, so I'm going to draw a line right here. And 105, line right here. And they want to know what that is right there. So somebody take your calculator and add up 13.5, 34, and 34. What?
95.
68 plus 13.5 is not 95.
Plus 13.
13.5 plus 34 plus 34. What is it?
The other 13.
81.5.
There you go. And that's the answer. So 13.5 plus 34 plus what? 34 is 81.5. You've got to read the empirical rule. Do y'all remember when I told y'all about the empirical rule and I told y'all the page number and I told y'all that it's very important that you memorize the empirical rule? That's why, because it is such a big part of probability and statistics. Question. Okay, does anybody else have a question on their test?
A lot in assignments.
I got another question. Remember, squeaky door gets what?
Grease.
I don't pronounce OIL, so I just say grease. I don't pronounce DOG or LOG. Because there's always some smart aleck that says I'm saying it wrong. LOG or DOG.
Oh.
Now, I will pronounce DAWG, but that's not the same as DOG. DAWG means them dogs down there in Athens.
Just more precise.
All right, does anybody have another question?
Yeah, we get it more than this.
Hey, I'm going to sit here until y'all have a question, or are we going to leave? One of the two, because I don't have time to do anything else today, go into new material, because it's already in the class, because we only have like 20 minutes for class. But that's the best way to have innovative teaching with posters, and have 50-minute class instead of an hour and a half. Good God, I hope Tri-County Tech gets with the time soon. Maybe 2050, I'm hoping. Who's got another question? Yes, ma'am. Anybody got another one?
In our assignment, we have a quartile.
Say again?
Quartile in assignment.
What did she say?
We say quartile. How do you say it? Quartile.
Quartiles. Yes, ma'am. You need the 5-number summary? 5-number summary and quartiles.
Yes.
5-number summary. I'll do that on a spreadsheet. I'll try to do it as fast as I can.
Okay.
If not, I'll go over it Wednesday, and if I need to, I'll extend the test. All right, so I'm going to give you 14 numbers. Let's just go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Everybody with me? That way you don't have to memorize, you just write them down. 1 through 14. Okay? Now, I'm going to find the median, because you need the median for the quartiles. Okay? I'm just going to go over the 5-number summary, that's all. So, how many do we have? 14. So I've got to find the median, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to have to average what? These two right here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to highlight those. And I'm going to highlight this one. And I'm going to say it's equal to, and you all know how to find the median, equal to this number plus this number divided by what? 2. Okay, so that's that, all right? So let's go ahead and let's highlight this one. And we'll highlight that one gray. And we'll highlight this one, that nasty looking burnt orange. Okay, so here's my 5-number summary. Here's 3 of them. The mean, the first quartile. The second quartile is our what? Median. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that blue, or sorry, yellow, and it's equal to that number right there. And this one is going to be equal to that number, and that's gray. And then third quartile, you got to calculate, and then the max. And the max is that burnt orange down here, which is that burnt orange color. That don't look right. I think it's about that color. There we go. All right, so those are your min, your max. We also need what's called the what? The mid-range. We need that. So let's go ahead. I'm not going to highlight it because it's not part of the 5-number summary, but we're going to need it for the box plot. So that's equal to, parentheses, the high plus the what?
The what?
The low divided by what? 2. Okay, we went over that. Of course, it's the same thing. Now, we got to find the first and the third quartile. With the first and third quartile, this is the median of the top group, and this right here is the median of the what? Bottom group. But you got to find the middle. We found the middle. The middle is 7.5. So I'm going to take a dot and I'm going to put that 7.5 on here. It's right here. Now, with the odd amount, you don't have to do this. Why? Because the middle is the middle. But when you have an even amount, 14, you have to locate that middle because it's very important. This is 7.5 right here. Now, how many numbers are above 7.5? No, how many numbers are above 7.5? Top group. How many numbers? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here, n is equal to 7. Therefore, you just find the median is equal to the what? The middle. Same thing down here. And I'll do it in a different color. Do it, and I don't like red, but we're going to do it in red. N is equal to 7 down here, so therefore the median is equal to the middle number. What if it's odd? I'm sorry, what if it's even? Then you have to you find the middle too, just like we did here. All right? So, let's take our calculation. Let me go over here and calculate the median of the top 7. And if you have to go, I understand we only got 1 minute. If you have to go, just silently, quietly leave. Okay, I understand. If you want to stay, stay. That's fine. I'm going to finish this problem. All right. So So the middle, or the first is the median right here. So that's going to be this number. These two numbers are the middle right there, right? So I just have to find. I'm going to color that bluish color because I said n is equal to 7 in blue. So that's equal to that number. Okay. How many numbers you got above that one? 3. How many numbers you got below it? 3. Because you can't count that 7.5. You have to count the 7. So there's 3 there, and there's 3 there. So that's that color. That's that blue. Down here, I'm going to go with a red. I don't like red, but color it. Let's find a lighter red. That light red, that's a light red. Dang old mauve color. Okay, and that's that color right there, and that's equal to that number.
We did finish.
Okay, so there's the number. All right, now, to draw your 5-number summary, I'm going to do it right quick. What is the number line? The number line consists of what? The min, the max, and the what? The midpoint. Mid-range, or the midpoint. People call it midpoint. And the 1, and then 14. So those are used for the number line. This one, and this one are used for the number line. Okay, those 3 numbers are used for the number line. The mid-range, the min, the mid-range, and the max. Now I got to graduate. This is where we do the interpolation again. Half of half of half. What's 1 to 7? 6. Half of 6 is 3. So that would be a 4. Add 3 here. That would be 7 plus 3 is 10. Okay, 1 to 4 is what? 4, I guess. Half of 4 is 2. Really, you're guesstimating the middle. So that's going to be a 6. That's going to be 7 plus 2 is 9. 2, that's 12. Okay? So I just graduated. And the only way you do that is just take half of half of half. Okay? All right, so what is this? This is your box plot. That's your box plot. So take my blue marker. My blue marker is 4. So you can put it on the number line or you can put it above the number line. I'm going to put it on the number line this time. I believe in class I did it above the number line. 11 is going to be red. And the median is going to be yellow. It's 7.5. It just so happens, since I use numbers, consecutive numbers, it's going to come out to be perfect. And what does the box plot show? Well, the middle of the box plot is on the middle of the number line, so that means that your curve is going to look like what? It's going to be a normal curve. And that's how you do the 5-number summary, the quartiles, and the box plot. Okay? Does that help?
Yes.
Yes, we have lower quartile and upper quartile. How to get it?
Say again? The upper quartile. Oh, well,
Lower
that's just...
quartile and upper quartile.
Okay, that's in the book, and it's real. Once you find these numbers right here, you just have to go by the book. Let me find that in the book. Does anybody know what page that's on in the book? I realize y'all got to go. I don't have a class, so it doesn't matter to me. Let me go to anybody know where that is in the book? The quartiles? What page? Right quick. Can somebody look? Is it 6A, 6B, 6A, 6B, or 6C?
It should be 6B. 6B is very hard.
It's what?
6B is hard.
6B?
Yeah.
Y'all go ahead if y'all need to go. Don't feel bad. I'm going to stay here with Mrs. Anisador and get this finished.
It's 6.
Y'all just be rude and leave. I don't know why y'all would stay after class. Why y'all don't want to stay after class?
It's 6B.
I'm looking for it. I'm trying to pull the book up.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got the book up. Now let me see if I can find it. There's just two formulas that basically, here it is. There's the lower quartile. Now where is the, they give you the formula for a, no, I don't see that. The upper quartile is the third, see? Oh, that irritates me. The third quartile is the upper quartile. It's the same thing.
Okay.
That's the same thing, Miss Anisador. It's the same thing as what I showed you.
Yeah.
Eat later.
Thank you.
You only need the third quartile. The books think they don't think you can understand third, so they call it the upper quartile.
Okay.
So it's the book. If you look on page 389, they call it the same thing. The upper quartile and the lower quartile is the first quartile, the median is the second quartile, and the third is the upper quartile. They just call it different names.
Okay. No, yeah. Okay.
If you want me to do that, I can do that for you Wednesday and extend your test if you need to, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Just let me know, okay?
Okay.
All right, you have a good day and go over these videos and try again.
Yeah.
If you want to wait until Wednesday, let me know and I'll extend after class. Just let me know after class if you want to extend.
Okay. How many times do we take the test? Can we take the test?
3.
Okay, I've taken one already.
Okay, well, if you want to take it again and if you still have questions, just you don't have to send them to me. What you need to do is just tell me you want me to go over your test, the second test, and I'll pull it up like I did today.
Okay. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.